the aspiring president of New Singapore, China, and South Korea. Now, even if Kasungu were to be given the 30 years, he claimed it will take Kenya to transform into a first world country. With this kind of priorities, will he be anything near Singapore, even if he was given 100? How do you contribute? How do you take 50 million for church donations when the infrastructure of your country is falling apart? Lecturers on strike. Literally every civil servant is thinking about downing their tools. Unajua saa zingine ni kama Kasungu just wants to go home. He has just not gotten somebody to move him out of that state house, forcefully evict him from there.
Worship without justice and compassion is just hypocrisy. Development begins with the needs of people, not political showmanship in God's name. This is your God-sent president, the one with a PhD, giving out 50 million for the construction of a church. And one common denominator dictators have: they love the church, because the church can spread their propaganda. This is a man, as head of state, he will not create employment, because he knows once he creates employment, people will be too busy. People will be too fixated in doing things that are keeping them busy. They will not have idle time to listen to cheap propaganda. This is somebody who does not prioritize education. In fact, our education sector is in the doldrums. University lecturers have been on strike now for 3 weeks, almost going to a month, and he has uttered not a single word, because dictators do not love people who are educated, because somebody who is educated is able to debunk between a lie, a propaganda, and the truth. And that is the tool dictators use. Our healthcare system is in shambles. Hospitals are ill-equipped, understaffed. SHA is not working. It's just stealing from innocent Kenyans. But they will not prioritize the health sector because they want a population that is sick. And once you have a population that is sick, productivity goes down because you'll have nobody who will be able to work. A sick person is not productive like a person who is healthy. And that is where they come up with politics of handouts and tokenism, because they have killed your education system. People are illiterate. They have killed unemployment. They have killed the health sector. People are sick. And there's nothing worse having a population that is illiterate, unemployed, and sick. These people will do anything for survival, even if it means gallivanting and perambulating with these politicians all over. And at the end of the day, they give you a paltry 200 shillings or even 50 shillings. You will worship that person. And that is what these politicians want. They want to keep you in that cycle of poverty so that you can look up to them as the hero. 50 million shillings. In that place he was in Kakamega, if he gave any startup business at least 1 million each, those are 50 startup business. Tell me the economic stimulus in that region. But they don't think like that. Why would you give a church 50 million shillings? For what? This is a tool dictators use. They use religion because religion has the power to indoctrinate, brainwash, and hypnotize people. And religion goes hand in hand with poverty. Where poverty is high, you will find very religious people because they believe their problems will be taken away by prayers and not by hard work. People are building industries to fight unemployment. People are investing in education to have a workforce that is skillful. Others are building hospitals, universal healthcare to ensure they have a population that is robust, so that productivity can go up. And that's what Singapore did. Now, I've never seen the Singapore he refers to where a president donated a colossal amount to a church. Which Singapore does he talk about? Singapore are creating industries as we are building churches. And then once we build those churches, we shall go to those churches and pray for unemployment. We shall pray for the Lord to reduce crime rate. Because somebody who is unemployed is idle, and somebody who is idle will engage in crime. So crime will go high. Then we'll go to church and start fighting for, praying to God to create jobs for people. Telling them to take away the crime rate. You cannot fight unemployment by praying. You fight unemployment by creating industries, creating opportunities. Government creates opportunities. Government does not engage in business, and they ensure the playing field is level for everybody. All they do is arbitrate and play oversight. Government should create opportunities. So now, we wait for this church to be completed, then people of Kakamega will go there and pray for employment, pray for good health. Singapore indeed. Singapore indeed. Singapore indeed. 50 million. And you ask yourself, where is he getting that money? Even if this is not money from corruption. Budgeted and institutional corruption. But nobody will ask those questions. Anyways, the saga continues. 50 million. Hey. So.
ambaye amekuja kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba mradi huu basi utaendelea na
There goes your God-sent president. The only president with a PhD and who knows how to run a country. Yes, he's visiting a stalled project. And that is tantamount to chasing the wind and shadow boxing. He has relaunched and relaunched and relaunched projects. He's relaunched what Uhuru launched. He's relaunched also what he launched when he was a deputy president. Now he's left with stalled projects. So his work now is to look for stalled projects, go and inspect them, and lie to the people that is going to inject money. Kasongo is like a rocking chair. A rocking chair, it moves forward, backwards, but there is no movement. He confuses movement with productivity. This is pure idleness. And to make matters worse, if you want to know these people are folly, watu ni makumbafu, they are wearing reflectors and helmets. And yet it is a stalled project. A stalled project means there's no work. Work ceased happening there a long time ago. So there's no debris that is falling. There's nothing. So why are you wearing a reflector and a helmet? It's like going to the ocean or to a swimming pool that has no water and you're wearing goggles and a scuba, the self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, a tank, an oxygen tank, and yet there's no water in the swimming pool. This man should be impeached on grounds of mental incapacitation. And they are going to budget for that stalled project. To finish, it will even cost more than where it reached. They are the same people who cut the funding for these projects. It stalls, then again they resuscitate it, but double the price. Like I've always said, our corruption is budgeted and it is institutional. Why would a whole president go to a stalled project? This is something the governor of that county should be doing, or whatever the MP in that constituency. This is above the president's pay grade. People should learn to cut their coat according to their size and swim within their depth. And that is why people say Kasongo is a micromanager. Because surely a stalled project, why are you going to do in a stalled project? Leave that for the county to handle. There are bigger fishes to fry. Like sorting SHA. University lecturers on strike, sort that. Our debt has ballooned past the debt ceiling, sort that. Our taxes are being wasted. We are not getting value for our taxes. Taxes are being misappropriated. The taxes we are collecting are going to paying salaries because we have a bloated government. Well, one term and must go should be an eventuality and a reality come 2027, because we cannot continue like this. When a clown enters the palace, he does not become a king. The palace becomes a circus, and that is what we have, a pure circus, courtesy of Kasongo.
Mido nacheza mdhaminisi na kaona dai moshi itazivuta vuta. Limit ya fuliza imeongezeka nkoma. Neza shika jag na kanudu sie. Nacheza kiroro. Neza fika soko. Turi nimemdagi meditation naki. Shusha kibandaski cha podonde neza. Rada nama. Vuta izoma.